Time now for Focus. Today we have a report on Doñana National Park in Spain's Andalusia region. It's home to 5 threatened bird species and is the wintering site for more than 500,000 waterfowl each year. But illegal wells and farms are drying up the land, and UNESCO is threatening to withdraw the park from its list of World Heritage Sites, which would be a first for Europe. Sarah Morris reports.
The marshland of Doñana is the largest nature reserve for migratory birds in Europe. AMBROSIO has worked as a guide here for 23 years.
There are between 20 and 40 nests here. You can find storks, spoonbills, egrets, herons.
But this sanctuary is under threat. Over the last few years, climate change and nearby farming have upset the park's ecosystem.
2 centuries ago, the lagoon you see here was 10 times as large. You needed a whole day in a boat with 6 people rowing to cross it. Now the lagoon is dry and the bird's ecosystem has been turned upside down.
With so little water here, migratory birds no longer visit.
There are fewer different types of birds and the overall number is lower than before.
The lack of water is mainly caused by intensive farming. There are some 11,000 hectares of greenhouses right next to the park. A single hectare needs 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools worth of water every year for irrigation. Many of the farmers use the groundwater that feeds the lagoons.
Esto es una de las balsas.
Here you have a water reserve in the middle of the forest. In this area, near the mouth of the river La Rosina, there are 7 illegal water reserves and 60 wells in just 1 square kilometre of forest. These are stealing from the groundwater and the Doñana, water needed to feed the marshlands and the animals.
A few metres on, and we find more illegal wells.
There are the pipes connected to the well. That's the depth of the well. 1, 2, 3, about 35 or 45 meters deep. And all of that has been done without any license at all.
Some farmers have even cut down trees and taken over land. The WWF says all these greenhouses are illegal. And they've been here for many years. Local authorities are struggling to enforce the law in Doñana.
People have been sentenced to jail. We've closed 400 wells already. That's just the start, but we can't change things overnight.
The authorities are accused of reacting slowly. Fruit production is a huge source of wealth for the region. It delivers revenues of 500 million euros a year, 100,000 jobs.
70% of the production is exported, especially to Germany and the United Kingdom.
CRISTOBAL owns 10 hectares. He built his own water reserve in order to respect the law.
This water comes from another region. It's the surface water from the Guadiana water basin.
The European Union financed these pipes. But there aren't enough to serve all the region's farmers.
It's true that some people have been able to find a legal solution, but not everyone. In the case of the illegal wells, all the farmers using them wanted to get licenses for them, but the administration never replied. We've had to set up an association and ask for an irrigation plan for our lands so that they finally listen to us.
The region thinks it will take 15 years to close all the illegal wells. The other threat to Doñana comes from gas pipelines. The Spanish state decided to locate a strategic gas reserve underneath the park.
It's the safest and most natural way to store gas. The only way we have to store gas is to store it underground.
The environmentalists say the gas represents another risk to the wildlife.
There may be seismic risks that haven't been correctly evaluated yet, and there might be a risk to the groundwater in the wells, as well as other developments planned that might break up the animals' territory.
The restarting of mining, the expansion of Seville's port. Every day brings a new threat to the reserve. UNESCO says Doñana risks losing its World Heritage status unless the politicians do more to protect biodiversity at the park.